Tippy time my damies, Topgate here and welcome back to the channel. This build has three main strengths. It's got an endless stream of melees with the power to heal on demand whilst tanking what's thrown at you. And we've got massive uptime on our supers. Regardless of the super you pick, I can get them in as little as 13 seconds. At the launch of the final shape, I initially overlooked the interminable Skull Fort as there are more powerful exotics out there. But what it does lack in power, it makes up with consistency. It has two main attributes. Firstly, our melee charges are restored on kills. We're going to pair this with that thunderclap. We charge this up, cock it back, and release a wave-based melee. This gets stronger the longer it's held. It rose in stock in the final shape. Its minimum damage was buffed by 20% and its maximum damage was buffed by 33%. So now with a tap and release it does 38k and 76,000 at full charge. But the crazy buff was we now get an 80% damage reduction whilst we're charging this up, actually making this anime style melee worth using in all levels of content. Using that knockout aspect, our melees jump to 56k short charge and 113k full. We get knockout for 8 seconds when we critically wound a target or break their shields. This is also going to increase the range of our melees. This also can activate with our weapons, so if you're going to approach a thick boy, maybe just break his shield first with a weapon so you don't burn that melee charge. We use Shield Crush in the artifact. This is going to boost our melee strength when we have an overshield, woven mail or frost armor. This takes our short charge to 72,000 and full charge to 141k. Facet of Courage will buff our clap a further 10% when our targets are debuffed by darkness. This obviously is going to make our Transcendent stronger with that Gimp Rope and Jumper Cable combo nade, but this build has more ice than vanilla, so debuffs aren't a problem. This puts our melee at 82k short and 163 with a full charge. The second part of this kit is survivability. The Skull Fort is going to restore us health on our melee kills. One kill does about 80% of our shields instantly, but as this melee has a wide area of attack, we can kill more targets for more health. And of course this melee is a lot safer to use with that 80% damage reduction whilst we charge it. Knockout will also return us a portion of health off of our melees. If amplified, they restore more. Our melees make us amplified for 15 seconds. When paired with that Galvanic Armor mod in the artifact, we gain a further 30% damage reduction whilst amplified. We use heavy-handed mods to create orbs of power with our melee final blows. I'm triple stacking these, as one of these will make us an orb every 10 seconds, 2 every 5 seconds, and with 3 of them we can make an orb every second. I use recuperation to give us a bump of health on our orb pickups, and better already will start the health regeneration. With Facet of Purpose we can get either amplified, restoration, woven mail, frost armor or overshields off our orb pickups based on our super. We want to select from the stasis, void or strand supers to ensure that we get that 25% buff with Shield Crush. 90% of the time though I'll be using that stasis for the frost armor, as it has a 10-second timer and it gives us a bump of 22.5% damage resist. Using Faceted Protection, while surrounded we get a damage resist. As standard this is 15%, whilst Transcendent this jumps to 32%. This build's third asset are our supers uptime. I only have 30 intellect and my super's base cooldown is 9 minutes and 16 seconds. But by using the hands-on mods we can get our super in as quick as 13 seconds. I'm going to be double stacking those mods, but the reality of it is that different enemies feed us different energy. So killing 20 Thrall might only net you half a super, while 20 Acolytes would give you a full. So your super energy will vary from room to room, but it will ensure you that you do have one when you need it. Our final portion of this build is support. For our grenades, I'm using stasis as it will help us close those gaps to our foes, as we do want to play nice and close. If you prefer the suspension grenade, that's cool, but I found its cooldown a bit of a pain. But we do want a darkness grenade to help balance our transcendence bars. To help with this, I picked Facet of Sacrifice. Whilst we have an Arc, Solar or Void buff, of which we pretty much are always amplified or radiant of those orb pickups, our ability Final Blows will grant us Darkness Energy. But depending on your weapon loadout, you might not need this, but I've got 2 arc weapons in one strand, so a suitable replacement might be Facet of Ruin to increase the size and damage of our shatters. I'm using the Diamond Lancers. These are going to give us a constant source of darkness debuffs to make our claps slap with courage. We create these off our ability kills or with stasis weapons. We can either ground and pound with these or yeet them across the map. These do have a 7-second cooldown on them before you can create another, but they will keep on the ground for 25 seconds, so don't feel you're in a rush to use them. I pair them with Facet of Command. When freezing our targets, it'll reload our equipped weapons, whilst also buffing our weapon stability, aim assist and airborne effectiveness. Now this build is obviously very heavy on the melees, so our gunplay is going to play a bit of a back seat, but when I need them, I don't want to be fumbling around with that mag trying to reload them. So if you get good at swapping, you can run a full encounter without ever reloading. Feel free to pause here for all my mods, armor stats, artifact and build, but there will be a dim link in the description down below. This build has more clap than the 60s, and whilst there are stronger builds out there using exotics like the Worm Gods, this has more consistent melees and damage reduction. But I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. I'm searching for a build to do a no HUD with, so if you got any suggestions, holler at me. Make sure to thumb it if you dug it, sub if you're new, and as always, tippy time my damies, what a tie.